Hello and welcome, my beautiful, vibrant souls. Sorry. One of those little crackling sounds that we started our lovely reading off with was my bones, and the other one was my chair. And the fact that they sounded very similar and just makes me want to go expire. Pardon me while I pass away. So yeah, hello and welcome, all my beautiful, vibrant souls. Welcome back to my old friends, and a friendly hello to all my new friends. It's a little late where I am, but I like that. It's always the intimacy of being up late at night when the whole world's kind of asleep, and I like sharing those moments with all of you. So today's reading is kind of, I notice a lot of people are on having a lot of epiphanies and breakthroughs in their healing journeys, both in my personal and professional life, and I'm really proud of everybody. I know it sounds really cheesy, but today's reading is kind of looking to acknowledge that, and I want to really look at what is it that makes you glow? Like what is it about your energy, your way of being, your aura that just people find you so shiny, right? You glow to people. You got that sweet little soul sparkle. So this is what the purpose of today's reading is going to be about. As usual, we have 3 options to choose from. We have option 1 with this lapis lazuli. Sorry, I had to think about it. Can you guys see that? I always forget where I need to hold it to be in frame. Hell yeah, dog. Okay. We have option 2 with this lovely amethyst. I really want to say amazonite for some reason, so maybe that's something that y'all should be working with. And then we have option 3, and God, I always forget peacock ore. There we go. I always want to say bismuth. I don't know why. That might be its actual name. I'm still learning crystals, so learn with me. Put it in the comments if you know, because I always like to learn new things. So, sorry, I have one itchy spot on my arm, and I'm like, ah. So yeah, take as much time as you need. Pause the video if need be. Meditate, contemplate, stacks in front of you, and when you have decided which one you were the most intuitively drawn to, head down to the timestamps in the description box. You know the drill. And go to your selected option. And with that, I'm going to start with group 1. Hello, group 1. Okay, so what makes you glow to other people? I feel like you have, you've recently completed a really big cycle, and it's yielded a lot of wisdom. I feel like brought you a lot of peace as well. And this is, people see this, right? Because it's hard to see, but there's like these little gold looking flecks in the stone itself. But people see that you've really risen from the ashes. You've really gained the wisdom of your experiences. People might be, you might notice people starting to go to you for advice more often, or heeding your advice more often. But you're starting to be viewed with like almost this air of more like reverence, respect, a little bit of awe. People are kind of like, how do you know that? Or like, just really, really impressed by what you bring to the table, especially if you've kind of had a history of being overlooked. People are really starting to, sorry, I'm trying to fix the cloth. It's not happening, that's okay. People are really starting to truly value the wisdom of your experience. And I feel a lot of it, again, is coming into peace within yourself, coming to terms with what with your journey thus far. And people notice that. People are like, ooh, I want a side of that. So let's see what you have for your cards. Sorry, we have the little bite marks here. My cat got a hold of this. But you have, yeah, what the hell were we just saying, dog? All right, I can't make this shit up. I don't see these either before I pull them on camera. But we have card 7 with the crown chakra. The frequency of the crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. Yes, it does, baby. Yes, it does. I'm making a mess. You have, wow, yeah, miracles and blessings. Everything has its gift. Card 13, which reduces to a 4. Oh my God, already so synchronistic. I love it. I love it. Shit. You guys, I suck at this. I'm so sorry. You're so patient for sitting here and watching me flounder about, hoping for the best. Holy shit, you guys. Higher power. Oh, I'm gonna die. We have a little key right here. This is card 4 as well. Damn. All right, so the number 4 has already shown up twice in your reading. It's fine. I'm not gonna freak out. We're good. And vision. Holy shit. Okay, so you might have a lot of angelic guidance as well. This is pretty straightforward. Yeah, so I'm just dealing with it. You ever have those moments where you do a reading that's like, I'm trying to not say a bunch of inappropriate things, but this reading's pretty sexy. It's swanky. I like it. Okay, so this is pretty clear cut. The reason why you're glowing, exactly what we were just talking about, you have a very strong connection to spirit. And I feel that in the past, because I'm looking at everything has its gift, right? Miracles and blessings. I think a lot of people appreciate that you really look for, you know, when it rains, you look for the rainbow. You really look for the blessing in everything you've experienced. We have a 13 here. This reminds me of the death card in the tarot. You've been through a lot of transformations, and this has only brought you higher to, like, closer to your higher power, your great big something. This has only brought you more spiritual awareness and understanding. The key always makes me think of the Hierophant in the tarot because he has keys with him. It's like you only, especially at a psychic, spiritual level, third eye, crown chakra energy, you've unlocked so much wisdom. And you see so clearly, right? Especially with vision here as well. You might be clairvoyant. You might have very strong Neptune placements, potentially. But you really see the full purpose of everything. I feel like you have evolved into somebody who I'm getting walks with a lot of grace. And I don't mean that literally. I mean, I do. I'm sure it's very graceful, but I mean that more figuratively and energetically. People see that you carry yourself with poise. You don't hold on as much, you know, because this looks like both receiving and like setting free. You don't hold on to things as much, right? You don't hold on to baggage of the past, despite any challenges that have come with these massive transformations. You're somebody who's very connected to spirit. You see how everything is interconnected, why things have to happen the way they do. I feel like this is why people go to you for your wisdom. You're either a very advanced soul or you're a very old soul. This is not your first time around the block for sure. And people know that you know is really what I'm getting. And it's interesting because lapis lazuli is very much connected to the third eye chakra, as well as the throat chakra, if I remember correctly. And she's holding her throat right here. So I feel like you know a lot of spiritual truth. You might be, again, sharing your wisdom more now. So you might be moving into like a spiritual mentorship kind of role, because the Hierophant imagery makes me think of that. The Hierophant is a spiritual mentor to others. But people see how you have transmuted your experiences into wisdom, how you have taken what's been thrown at you and used it to build yourself. And you do so without holding on to malice, bitterness, you know, like the lower vibrational fear-based energies. You've just transmuted that. And it's what feels like one of those things, like you're almost like untouchable now, like spiritually untouchable. And it's because you found your spiritual power, right? You found, or you're finding it, right? Even if you don't feel like you have, or you're like, yeah, some days I've got it, and other days I feel like a snail. I don't know why it's a snail. Other people see this in you. Other people see that you glow because you know who you are, or you know what you're here to do. Maybe you know your calling, your path, right? You understand what it's all about. Even if you can't always articulate it or consciously understand it, you just intuitively understand what it's all about. And this is why people, again, it kind of feels like something where it's like maybe more in the last couple years, or in this like most recent chapter of your life, whenever that started for you, that's when people started noticing. I feel like this was not always the case, right? And I feel like this was because you were going through some of those lessons still, but you've unlocked something and you have this greater understanding, and people, what I'm hearing is people flock to it. People flock to hear you just share your wisdom, explain, tell your story. Like people, I feel like, tell you a lot about their lives, because there's this like spiritual draw, right? It's like they want to hear your opinion about their situation. They need to hear your advice. You might be in like an advisor type of position, in a counseling position, position of mentorship. You know, this could also just be something that you exude, that you exhibit. And again, I feel like there's this essence where you may have always done this, but now there's like a lot more respect for you. This might be something you're turning into a career as well. But let's pull some tarot because I'm nosy. Nosy and curious. All right, why is group 1? Oh, just glowing. Let's see. I love this energy. This is nice. Yeah, 10 of Swords at the bottom. You've really paid your dues. You've been through a lot. You have perished and been reborn for sure. Okay. Yeah, 5 of Cups. There it is. 8 of Wands. There it is. Oh my goodness. I love this, you guys. I love it. And the 9 of Cups reversed. Oh, okay. So what I'm kind of getting here is this is a card, as you can see, kind of from the imagery. This is a card about grief. We have a home up here and the lights are on. We have a full moon here. This is something where I feel like you've felt in the past, like you've had to leave home in some way, like you've been left out in the cold. There's an arm coming out of the water grabbing her, right? I feel like this could have been a situation where for some of you, this could be where you left home to be in a relationship and this person was very toxic. I could definitely see that. For some of you, you may have struggled with addiction. I'm almost getting. And for some of you, you may have struggled a lot in the past with your emotional well-being. There's something here that had a hold on you and it felt like you couldn't get loose. And it was a very emotional situation. You may have struggled a lot with your subconscious as well, with the water here and the moon imagery. But there's a lot of feelings of grief. You know, the full moon is always about completion, things coming full circle, but it's also about release. And there's something where I feel like with the death imagery as well, in the past you've had multiple situations, maybe 3 major situations, possibly more, where it felt like you had to release something that felt like home. These could be relationships with this 2 of Cups. You had to release a soulmate or release soulmates in general, release a soul family, go far away from home, because the 8 of Wands is also about travel, and this could be literal or figurative. But it caused a lot of grief, especially with that 10 of Swords at the bottom of the deck that we saw. But it's interesting because this is about fast forward movement. This is Mercury in Sagittarius, and this expanded your understanding, particularly at a spiritual level, of your journey. And with the almost like phoenix-like imagery here, it's like, I think it's so interesting, we have this fire and there's the winter here, right? It's like out of the cold, out of the darkness, you have risen and been reborn, and people see that, and like this feels like unstoppable, right? There's no reason why this fire should still be existing, but it's there, right? It's in the snow, flying through the air, being carried by a bird, and this bird isn't fazed by the fire, like by the flames either, right? Nothing can stop you. And this bird's headed directly toward the 9 of Cups. And I feel like this is a situation where, because the 9 of Cups is about, so the 9 of Cups is about personal wish fulfillment and satisfaction, but in this deck, the folklore story, because in this deck, all of the cards have some type of like folklore, stories from pantheons around the world. It's an amazing deck. This Tarot of the Divine, I highly recommend it. And this deck, the story is where, oh gosh, I can't remember it super well, I'm so sorry, but he dresses up as a woman because the woman he's in love with is only into women. He dresses up as a woman and she falls in love with him. Not saying that that's the way to handle your relationships. I feel like you gotta respect people's preferences. But this is normally a card about your wish coming true in a very personal sense, right? Where the 10 of Cups is usually about sharing it with other people, family, happy home, relationships. But we have this image here, and I kind of get this feeling like why you're glowing is because people see that you have risen. People see that you have transformed yourself, and you will not stop until you get what it is that makes your heart sing, that really fulfills you. Right? Because we have this kind of like 2 of Cups again. 2 of Cups is indicative of like a soulmate relationship. So it's like no matter what's happened, you see the purpose, you see the point, and you don't let it define you, and you let it go. You release it and you rise again, and you only get stronger and better. And I kind of want to pull a clarifier for this Nine of Cups reverse, because the bird's headed straight at it. That's why I'm like, I feel like this is this energy of like, I won't give up on this. This like tenacity and determination. Okay. All right. So we have the Ten of Pentacles reversed, and yeah, the Ace of Swords. There's something where this has to do with, I feel like this has to do with family. This is again, longevity, family, like, you know, like intergenerational wealth. This is a legacy, and a very positive one at that. And then we have this image with the Ace of Swords, like this like knotted up imagery. There's something where something was, I feel like something was like a huge part of your life, or felt like it was going to last forever. With the dog here, there's a lot of loyalty to it, and the bottom fell out from under it. So this could be like a family member, like a parent passes away at a young age, a lot of tumultuousness and instability in your home growing up, things like that. And this may have also manifested itself later on in romantic partnerships as well. Really, because I feel like, again, there's like three major things that threatened to break you, that put you in a bind, that kept you stuck. But through it all, you got reacquainted with your soul spark, your passion, what your soul wants, your truth. And that's what's cut you free and allow you to keep moving on. So it's like no matter how many times you have to adjust your vision, adjust your wish, you will not give up on your own happiness. And you see the value and the merit in everything that you have accrued emotionally and spiritually as part of the journey. And people are really inspired by what you are bringing to the table. And again, graceful is the word that comes through. So doing it with quite a lot of grace. So this is really, really beautiful. I think this is just about everything I have for you. If you are interested in a personal reading, please feel free to check out my shop link in the description box below. It's been an honor and a joy to have you here, and I'm wishing you all the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. And with that, I'm going to move to group 2. Take care, guys. Bye. Oh no, the cloth. Okay. Damn it. Hi, group 2. Okay, just kind of settling in for a sec. I'm like shaking at my little shoulders. I know you can't see that. Okay, so why are you glowing? What are people noticing about this? I feel like, whatever this is, I feel like so see how we have the purple here with the amethyst and then it gets clear? It almost reminds me of clear quartz. It's not, but it comes to a point, right? This to me is like you follow your intuition first in a certain direction, and it becomes clearer the further you go while you're going in that direction. So you may have been in this place where you're like, I feel like I need to make this change. I feel like I need to do this thing. And you haven't seen it pay off yet, but this is coming. I'm trying to see if I get anything else from that. I don't, so let's just dive right on in. Okay, so you have, yeah. Oh, sorry. My asthma's terrible. I swear to God, you guys, I didn't look at any of your cards before I pulled belief. I'm gonna shit my pants. So this is card 11, and this says, the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. So you have a master number here. You might get a lot of help with ascended masters. I feel like what people notice that you, like, in terms of what, you know, people notice about you and like why you're glowing, is that you have this instinct, you have this intuitive nudge, and you either inherently just like, you know, to follow it, or you are learning to follow it. You are developing that belief relationship with spirit, and people notice that, you know. So I feel like more and more, the more you invest in this belief-based relationship with spirit, the more things just kind of happen for you. And people are like, wow, that's amazing. Like, you know, you were just talking about XYZ and then you got an offer to go do that thing, and like people notice that about you, and you have like a certain element of magic. It has like a magician kind of energy here. But again, I feel like you can't fully see the whole picture yet. It's like you can feel it, it's circulating around you, it's in your orbit, but it's not in your, it hasn't manifested fully yet. Oh, you have demonstrate love. Card 48, so that reduces to a 12/3. It says find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. And you have time to go. Okay. Card 45, so that reduces to a 9. And resistance. Okay. All right, here we go. I feel like you're kind of a complex person, group 2, because with this demonstrate love, like this is like very cheeky, right? I feel like you're somebody who you inherently trust in spirit, you inherently lean on spirit. Like, look at this. This boardwalk is in the clouds, and there's just this door here, right? It's like you follow by faith, whether you mean to or not, like whether that's something you consciously do or not. You're very led by your intuitive nudges, and the more you trust those, the more things work out for you, I feel like. I'm also really drawn into self-worth based on our gifts and talents. I feel like you're the type of person where like opportunities just seemingly fall into your lap when you're on the right path, when you're like, again, cultivating that belief-based relationship, you're living in alignment with your truth, with, you know, your highest calling, things just like fall into your lap. And I feel like that's why people see that. Like, this is the kind of energy of, you know, let's say you wanted to be a tarot reader and you're like, I don't know if I could make that work. It might not work for, you know, other people, but it'll work for you, right? Or whatever your niche is. I feel like you can like spin wheat into gold kind of a deal. Like, pardon the phrase, but I'm hearing you can really pull a win out of your ass, like at any point. And people are kind of like, it's this, again, magician energy of like, how did they do that? Like, how does it always work out for group 2? Like, you always land on your feet. You're like, it's really, really interesting. And the thing is like, I feel like it's this energy of like, you're a loving person, right? You think about other people around you. You're always acting in the best benefit, not only for yourself, but also for other people, right? And part of your destiny is to help serve other people spiritually, in whatever it is, whatever your calling is that you do. I also feel like you're very connected to divine timing. So you may just kind of, with time to go, I feel like you just know when to act. You know, you're very tuned into like timing cycles, and you're like, so I feel like you're an anomaly to other people. Other people don't understand. And there might be almost a sense of resistance if they're like, hey, you should really be doing this right now. And you're like, no, it's not time. Or like, yeah, okay, maybe I'll get to it. Like, let me wait. Because you operate on belief, whether you mean to or not, whether you're aware of this or not. You follow your intuition before it makes sense. And this is why it looks like magic to other people. But for you, it's very like, nope, I just knew it wasn't time yet. Timing is a huge thing here. And I feel like look how much stuff is going on in this card, right? It's like, I feel like wherever you go, things blossom, right? Things bloom. And you're somebody who's very loving, very giving. And the universe supports you in that. Very much so. Let's see what else we get. Because now, oh, I'm curious. Okay. We had the 7 of Wands reversed. Yeah, the Hierophant. Okay. And I want to pull you guys one more. I pulled 3 for the first group, but like, I want to pull you guys 4. Okay. So you have the 7 of Wands reversed, the Hierophant. Yeah, the Empress. And the Page of Pentacles. Okay, reversed. So Taurus energy here, Taurus Libra, and Virgo Taurus Capricorn going on. A lot of earth energy here. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. there's this innate sense of like, you understand, right? This is like higher spirituality, higher learning, a higher perspective. You're very faith-based, whether you're aware of this or not. This is with the 5 energy. This is what sees you through challenges in your life, right? And with the 7 of Wands reversed, I feel like this is why you don't fight it. You don't fight your spirituality. You don't fight divine timing. You move with it, not against it. And this is why to the outside observer, it can look like resistance. And if you're still in the process of kind of cultivating that belief, this is where you're heading, right? And I feel like you inherently know this. But like why you're glowing to other people is this magic is kind of around you, seemingly. But it's because you don't fight spiritual timing. You don't fight spirit on this. And as a result, with this Empress to the Page of Pentacles reversed, I almost feel like she's super abundant, right? She is divine feminine energy through self-mastery because she's all 4 queens of the tarot in one. You're just like, it seems like, right? Because this is, okay, the page archetypes are always the child, right? And so the Page of Pentacles can be like, you know, a learner, a messenger, the child archetype, kind of starting out when it comes to what they want to manifest, what they want to build in this life. And look at all the mountains in the background. Because the page was reversed, I feel like you work with the universal cycles, not against it. So you seemingly, you go from like, you skip all the stages, right? You may have like seemed like you're at the page stage for a long time and then boom, Empress. And it's because, you know, the Empress is usually depicted as pregnant. She works with divine timing, divine cycles, not against it. And she understands that there is a higher order to things, right? She understands when it's time to, she's also very loving. She's very nurturing. She understands when it's time to not do anything, when it's time to rest. And she understands when it's time to move, when it's time to go. And this is what I feel like your thing is, that people, like why you're glowing to people is you follow your intuition and you're able to make magic happen. It's like you can manifest really easily. And if you haven't like fully mastered this, or you're still working on it, this is where you're heading, right? Is this like this, especially too, I feel like if that's not where you are yet, the biggest hang up would be like the belief factor, right? So you might really believe in your manifestation, then it takes longer than you expect, or it starts to go in a different direction than you expect, and you kind of start doubting and panicking a little bit. Or you might have trouble, you might kind of have trouble like getting stuff off the ground a little bit, I'm getting. You might like be a little bit wishy-washy with what it is that you want. And these are just like things to learn, right? That's not a big deal. But when you're in the height of your power, you can make magic happen. This is what you have at your disposal. But in terms of like why you're glowing, this is what people notice about you. People are like, wow, like group 2 just manages to make stuff happen. Sorry, those are my knuckles. They shouldn't make that sound. They just like make stuff happen. Like they were talking about this the other day and then like, boom, now they're doing it. Like, or like, you know, they just started making this type of content and now they already have this number of subscribers or followers or stuff like that, where it just like appears like you manifest abundance out of nowhere. So yeah, this was pretty short, sweet, and to the point, but this was really, really cool. I think that's just about everything that I have for you guys. If you are interested in a personal reading, my shop link is in the description box below. It's been an honor and a joy to get to read for you. And I'm wishing you guys the best, brightest, and the most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, love bugs. Bye. Hi, group 3. Okay, just getting settled in here. Okay. I feel like if you're attracted to this peacock, or I don't know why, this isn't really something connected to this stone, because it almost looks kind of like, I don't know, kind of like a little bit like dirty or like tarnished, but you hit the light the right way and it's like, whoa. I don't know why I'm feeling like if you pick this group, you're very witty. Like, you're very witty, you're very smart. I feel like you can come up with ideas nobody else can come up with, like very, very intelligent. It's kind of the energy I'm picking up. And people notice that. There's like a quiet power here is kind of what I'm getting. You might be somebody of fewer words, or you like to really think about things and plan it, but when you bring something to the table, it's an idea that will knock people's socks off. Like, you don't half-ass anything, especially when it comes to planning or being able to, like, you want to pitch an idea, communicate something, come up with a theory, create a lecture. I feel like if you're attracted to this group, you don't fuck around. And not like in a bad way, but just like you really value exchange of ideas, and as a result, you want to make sure that anything you are communicating is well constructed, and that anything being communicated to you, you appreciate it when people are taking their own ideas seriously, as well as your time and energy seriously as well. Yeah, very focused. I feel like this is a group where you're either very accomplished or you will be very accomplished. Like, I want to mess with you guys. I like it though. Like, I like it. So let's see what you have. Wow, you have remembrance. Okay. This is card 38. That reduces to an 11/2. It says the frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything we have gone through as a soul in a body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. Okay. So this is where... okay, this almost kind of reminds me a little bit about group 1, but it's a different energy, right? I feel like our group 1, I feel like was very connected to spirit. You, I feel, are very connected to your higher self and your higher truth. Like, this comes from all of because look at all the little dots, right? All of the epiphanies, all of the breakthroughs, all of the points of illumination from past lives. I'm not saying you're not connected to spirit as well, but I think that's your strength, is that you have a lot of personal wisdom. You see how everything fits together very, very well. Especially with the blue here as well, you might be very able to communicate about it. It's like you can construct these huge theories about it. Like, let's just see what else you get. Okay, so you have choose love. This is card 21 that reduces to a 3. It says you always have a choice as to what you should do. There's a lot of blue here too. Wow, okay, loyal heart. Card 35, that reduces to an 8. We have a couple of keys here and some owls. Okie dokie, and yeah, superstition, okay. All right. So you guys might be my mediums, my witches a little bit. But more than anything else, what I really feel like is that, so like group 1, for example, was, again, I felt like they had a lot of experiences in this lifetime, and they were able to share the wisdom of those experiences, and they're very connected to spirit, particularly with channeling, because I was chatty as hell on group 1. They're able to channel, and they're able to share divine wisdom very easily, especially through their psychic skill sets and spiritual gifts. And that's not that doesn't apply here, but I feel like why people notice you glow in group 3 is because she's got her eyes closed, right? And there's couples over here, here. I think you have had a lot of important relationships, both in this life and past lives. This is the remembrance card's all about past lives. Or, other lifetimes, simultaneous incarnations, etc. This is a very clear, cognizant kind of energy. There may also be channeling as well. But this is something where it's really interesting, right? Because your mind is one of your greatest gifts. But we have this reference to choosing love and a loyal heart. I feel like what I'm hearing is like your mind has learned to be the gatekeeper for your heart. And your wisdom comes from seeing how these two things have to work in tandem, how all of it fits together, especially with all the dots here, it's like how all the people in your life are fitting together to create this ascension for you. There's so much depth here. I also feel like, I don't know why, but the words of love that you speak to the people in your life make a profound impact. The words you speak in general make a profound impact. You may also be clairaudient as well. With the keys here, it's like the people who are in your life, the people who you're loyal to, especially those you have a psychic connection with or an intuitive connection with, when you let somebody in like that, they stay in your heart forever. And this is why I feel like there's, the person with the eyes closed and all the couples here. It's like every relationship you've ever been in, you remember that, you carry that with you, and it's part of your soul's wisdom and understanding. Past lives, this life, you might have in this lifetime, you might have a lot of past life relationships come through, right? People who you've known before. And with the 3 here as well, we have, like I said, a 3 and an 8. This is in order to expand your, and we have a 3 and an 8. This is in order to expand your understanding. These are past life things that you've been working on for a really long time. So you might be finishing up a huge cycle in this lifetime when it comes to interpersonal relationships. And she's super duper tattooed. It's like you carry these people with you. These people's energy, they're always with you. You always have an energetic connection to them. I feel like if you were attracted to this group, you might, this sounds really weird, but you might not like the idea of cord cutting, or it might not really be able to easily cord cut in this lifetime, and that has great purpose. But all the relationships that you've had and that you will have are here to unlock very important things for you. And again, there's something about the truth of the heart and balancing that with the mind, and how to conceptualize relationships, how to think about all of it. This is a very deep, introspective pile. Yeah, I feel like if you chose this, you also might be like highly sensitive. It's just like you feel things very, very deeply. It might take you a long time to process your emotions. But there's a huge part of this lifetime is like the journey and the balance between the heart and the mind, and how to think about relationships, how to express the depth of your feelings. I feel like if you pick this group, you feel things so deeply to the point where it's like you have this whole other world in your head, right, that lives within you. Because there's like, it's like, how do I express 1,000 lifetimes in my words, right? When I look at, it's like say there's somebody that you love, right? It's like when I look at you and I say I love you, I don't just mean I love you right here and now. I mean I have always loved you. I love you in a way I can't fully articulate because I don't fully remember, but I know it's there, right? There's the lights here. It's like you feel it deep inside. And I feel like when it's superstition here and just her expression, it's like when you meet people in this lifetime that you've known before, you just know, right? You have this intuitive understanding of why they're here, what you guys are gonna do, the fact that they mean something more to you, like big time. You may also find that you're only able to, I'm getting like have a couple of super duper close relationships in your life at any given time. And this is because you do a lot of deep energetic soul work with these people. Whether you're kind of more teaching them in that moment or they're teaching you, or both. In any given moment. This is because, again, with Loyal Heart, you share a very deep, abiding soul connection with the important people in your life. And there are many important connections in your life of all sorts, romantic, friendship, family, otherwise, where it's like you guys are giving each other a key to figure something out, but it feels like, again, this is a wrap up from past life stuff. It's like you're finally handing each other the key, like, here, we finally got it. And by the time you finish this lifetime, I feel like it's gonna all come together, and you're gonna see how it all fits together. And it's profound, and I feel like people can pick up on this from you. When you speak, the words you speak impact people significantly. especially anything you've had a moment to think of. With the 3 here, your self-expression expands people, and with the 8, expands people spiritually, infinitely expands their consciousness. And this is the things that you express from the experiences you've had, the relationships you carry with you, because they live within, right? And again, the words that you say to people, they are your feelings, they are what's going on in this lifetime, but they have many lifetimes backing them up. So I love you doesn't just mean, yeah, I love you. It means I love you. I have always loved you. I will always love you. I have so much love for you, right? There's just a depth here that's really beautiful. And I feel like if you chose this group, there's this interesting juxtaposition of like always feeling a little bit separate from people, but always choosing love at the same time. This is really interesting balance. So I'm going to pull some cards and stop babbling about it because I'm nosy. So what makes group 3 glow? What makes them glow to people? The 9 of Pentacles at the bottom, you might be somebody that's very abundant. We have a bird here, so somebody who's very free, sings their own song. Somebody who's very independent. I feel like if you chose this group, you only have a couple of people in your circle at any given time. Those people may rotate throughout your life, but it's like you can only really have a close inner circle of like, a few people. Like I'm hearing no more than 5, roughly, at any given time. So you might need to spend a lot of time alone as well. Wow, the 10 of Cups. That's really beautiful. The Page of Wands reversed. And the 6 of Cups reversed, past life card right here. Okay. Yeah, I feel like in terms of what people notice about you, like why you glow, I feel like this is like old soul territory, right? Because these are both childlike energies, and this is like past life stuff. I feel like you're a very old soul. People, again, if you pick this group, this might be your last incarnation. And it's like, you might have kind of like a fun, playful disposition, but it's like people are like, because again, I was like talking about how at first it almost looks like kind of like a tarnished sort of stone, and then you have like these beautiful pieces that you can see, like, right, the beautiful little like speckles of the purple and the gold. It's just gorgeous, right? So this is like, you might kind of appear sort of one way on the surface and like, oh, that's nice, and then boom, you hit people with this wallop of just wisdom and depth. It's like the entire galaxy in this little tiny little piece, right? And you could almost miss it. This hole in the wall galaxy, you could almost miss it if you weren't looking. So you might be somebody that's very quiet, or tends to keep to themselves, tends to not open up about themselves, particularly emotionally. There's like a distance I'm sensing. And again, very old soul here. Because the Page of Wands is always the beginning of a new soul journey, right? Very enthusiastic, very excitable. I feel like you're like calm as the old oak. I don't know, just like not, there's a sense of spiritual and emotional placidity here. Like there's so much wisdom. And once again, this is a card of the past, but also past lives. And when it's reversed, this is talking about letting go of the past. This is why I think if you pick this group, you might be on your last Earth incarnation, because this feels like you're wrapping up a lot of cycles, right? And this is a card of closure and happiness, right? Complete and total emotional fulfillment. And this, they almost look like kind of dead. And this is kind of like emotional fulfillment between your like stuff from your past lives are being put to rest. And there's like this blending of this happiness between your past life relationships and this one. There might be, I gotta say, with Loyal Heart and this couple depicted, there might be one person in particular that is meant to be like your person in this lifetime. With Choose Love, you might have a very long cycle with them where there's some ups and downs, and this is meant to bring together a lot of your lessons. I kind of want to pull a couple more cards because I'm really intrigued by this. So what makes group 3 glow to people? What's going on? Yeah, I don't know. This is just, there's a lot here. Y'all deep. I want to get to know it. Yeah, Ace of Cups at the bottom. There's something here about a return to love, a healing of old, again, past life issues. And this is to close out old emotional tabs, essentially. Yeah. Yeah, the 9 of Cups reversed. The 7 of Wands reversed. Oh, and the King of Cups reversed. Yeah. Okay, so masculine water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I was talking about this because this card came up in one of the other groups. Can you see? I'm really good at holding it out of the frame. In the traditional 9 of Cups, you know, this is all about personal wish fulfillment and satisfaction, as opposed to the 10 of Cups, which is like more happy home, family, you know, happy partnership, etc. But in this version, this deck has stories from like folklore and pantheons all over the world for each cup, and I love that, or for each card, and I love that. And in this particular deck, the story is that this guy is, and I'm forgetting names, I apologize. This guy's in love with this lady, but she's only in love with other ladies, so he dresses up like a lady, and then she falls in love with him. And while that is not a good dating strategy, it's really interesting because for a card that's usually about like your personal wish come true, there's another person involved, and that's not usually how that goes. And with the King of Cups reverse showing up, I feel like what happened is this big past life issue, this person that your person, there's something where this happened in a past life, and then I feel like it was repeated but in different circumstances in this life, where there's so much emotion here, but I feel like it went unexpressed. Or there could have been a lot of emotional ups and downs. I feel like it went unexpressed though, because the 7 of Wands reverse tells me somebody didn't fight for this. And this was the wish here. This is what you both desired in this past life. You desired each other, but somebody didn't fight for it. Maybe practicality, maybe the head got in the way of the heart, but it didn't happen. Something didn't pan out. And this lifetime, that's meant to come back around and change for you. You're meant to have this happy ending. And it's interesting, we were commenting on the 9 of Cups, and at the bottom is the Ace of Cups, which would make the 10 of Cups. Whatever this is in this lifetime, you've had a lot of lessons having to do with love, a lot of wrap-up lessons with past life people. So you may have a lot of people in your life where you have this instant sense of familiarity, or you have, you know, a discussion with them, and it's like, I feel like I've talked with you about this before. You might have a lot of deja vu in your relationships. But there's one person in particular in this lifetime. Not saying you won't have more loves than that or more important relationships than that, but there's one in particular where this is your person. They were always your person. They were always meant to be your person. So, you know, you always have a choice. This lifetime, you have the opportunity to choose each other. And I'm not saying you know, with this imagery, I feel like a huge part of this life is choosing love in these other connections in your life. Again, closing out emotional tabs, learning to choose love over fear, you know, choose love-based emotions of gratitude and patience, understanding, compassion, and finding the wisdom in love, versus choosing lower vibrational energies out of fear. And there's a lot of different ways this is going to play out, but there is one relationship in particular. I'm hearing you guys had to practice a lot before this person comes along or comes back along. It's going to be worth it. And you're just going to know who this person is. You'll remember each other. So this is really profound. So in terms of what people, you know, why you glow to people, people can sense your wisdom. Oh, sorry, I bumped the camera. People can sense your wisdom. People can sense the depth of your feelings, even if you can't express it all the time. Your words impact people. Your words stir emotions in others. Your words inspire people to express themselves honestly, particularly with matters of the heart. I feel like you're the kind of person where people are like, wow, to be loved by group 3 must be a beautifully intense experience. Like I wish somebody would look at me like that. I wish somebody would write me poems like that. I wish somebody would do X, Y, Z, you know, write me songs like that. There's something in this energy. It's very like poetic, very artistic. So I hope this has been helpful. This is just about everything I've got for you. If you are looking for a personal reading, my shop link is in the description box below. I'm wishing you guys the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, love bugs, okay? All right, bye.